Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get started with a 1/2 inch flat brush loaded mostly with gray, and I dipped one of the edges of my brush in black just to give me that slight little black outline. And I'm going to make a guide here of 5 points right in the middle of the forehead, almost like a star. And you're going to turn each one of those guidelines into a flower petal. Now on these bottom 2 petals, I'm making them just slightly smaller just because there's not a whole bunch of space in between his eyebrows, and I just want to make sure that I have space for both of them. And here I'm just going over the color to make sure it's nice and saturated. Next I'm going to pick up more of that same black and gray, and I'm going to go right through his eyebrow, and I'm going to form the shape of his shoulders and his biceps. They're kind of just one piece right there. Make sure that your brush is nice and saturated to get through these eyebrows. Some brows are bushier than others, so you might need to load up more paint just to make sure you get them nice and saturated. Next, fill in his upper torso and fill in any gaps. Okay, now we're going to work in the next section of his arm. I like to do this in sections just so that I can mirror what I'm doing on the opposite side at the same time. And here you can see I'm just stamping what would look like fingers on his arm. And make sure on the elbow creases that you make the crease a little bit skinnier than the rest of the forearm and the bicep. Otherwise, it's not going to look like an arm is bending, if that makes sense. Now here I'm coming in with a small filbert brush loaded with red, and I'm just going to create the same flower shape but a little bit smaller to fit inside the other gray flower. While I'm waiting for that red to dry, I'm going to use this time to pick up a little bit of black on a dry sponge, and I'm just going to dry sponge this black to the outer parts of his face. And here, as you can see, I've picked up a round number 3 brush and I loaded it with black, and I'm just gonna quickly outline the flower and the rest of the design. I'm also going to add some lines where his arms are. I don't know if you've seen the show, but if you have, he's got like just some ridges and muscle tendons and stuff, and they're really visible. And then I'm just kind of doing little flicking motions for where his claws are going to be, and fill in that upper torso. Now I'm coming in with another number 3 loaded with white, and I'm just going to plant, pull, plant, pull. It's like you put your brush down and then you flick up, and it just creates these little teeth shapes, and you want the tip of the teeth pointing in towards the inside of the mouth. Now go ahead and do the same thing for each of his claws. Now grabbing the same brush, we're just going to add some highlights just here and there around the design. And next up, I'm going to grab a little finger dauber sponge loaded with red, and I'm using this stencil set. It's called Graffiti Eyes Stencil. If you don't have this in your kit, I highly recommend getting it. It's been a staple in my kit for the past 10 years. It's been such a great set. It's always served me well. This is the blood splatter one that I'm using. And I'm just using this around the outside edges of the design just to help create a little bit of chaos going on in the background. And I'm kind of adding the same designs, mirroring them on each side of the face just to keep the balance of everything. And there you have it, a super simple Demogorgon design, perfect for your Halloween season coming up. If you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment if you'd like to see any other designs, and I'll see you in the next video.